The wrapper is on the counter. The chocolate is at the corner of her mouth. You know. She knows you know. You look at her, and you ask, gently, "Did you eat the chocolate?" And she looks straight back at you. And she says, "No." She doesn't flinch. She doesn't look away. She just lies. Meanwhile, in another house, a different child walks up to his father. Nobody asked. Nobody is watching. And he says, "I broke the cup." He did it. He knows he'll be in trouble, and still he comes to tell the truth. Same age, same situation, completely different children. The difference is not personality. The difference is not honesty or dishonesty as a trait they were born with. The difference was built, slowly, without anyone noticing it was happening. Children don't lie because they are bad. They lie because they are afraid. Not afraid of you, not exactly. Afraid of the moment that follows the truth, the tightening face, the disappointment in the voice, the consequence they can already predict before they even open their mouth. In the fraction of a second before a child speaks, their brain performs a calculation, not consciously, automatically. What is worse, the truth or the lie? And the answer they reach is based entirely on what happened the last time they told the truth. This video is about that calculation, where it comes from, what ancient cultures understood about it long before neuroscience named it, and what you can do, starting with one small change, to raise a child who doesn't need to lie. In the 1990s, a developmental psychologist named Victoria Talwar began studying lying in children. She discovered something that surprised many parents. Children begin lying between the ages of 2 and 3, not because something went wrong, because something went right. Lying at that age is actually a sign of cognitive development. It means the child has understood that you cannot see inside their mind, that your knowledge and their knowledge are separate. This is called theory of mind. It is the same developmental step that builds empathy, the ability to understand that other people have thoughts and feelings you cannot see. So lying, early lying, is not the problem. Persistent lying is. And Talwar's most important finding was this: the children who lied most often were not the children with the worst character. They were the children in the harshest environments. The children who lied most lied because the consequences of the truth were unbearable. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that governs honesty, impulse control, and long-term thinking, is not fully developed until age 25. A young child literally cannot reason their way to "the truth is always better in the long run." They can only feel right now, this moment, which answer is safer. And they answer based on what they know about you. In Denmark, there is a parenting philosophy built around a single distinction that changes everything: the distinction between intention and outcome. Danish parents and Danish schools are trained to ask a question that almost no other culture asks consistently. When something goes wrong, when a cup breaks, when something is spilled, when a mistake is made, they ask, "Did you mean to do that?" Not "how could you?" Not "why did you do that?" Not "I can't believe you." Just, "Did you mean to?" And the child says, "No, I didn't mean to." And the parent says, "I know. Accidents happen. Let's clean it up together." That moment, that small, quiet moment, teaches the child one of the most important lessons of their life. Mistakes are survivable. The truth is survivable. In Danish research on children's honesty, homes where mistakes were met with curiosity rather than anger produced children who confessed voluntarily before being asked at rates nearly twice as high as homes where mistakes were met with punishment. Not because Danish children were braver, because they had evidence. Their own lived experience told them, "When I tell the truth here, I am not destroyed." That evidence is what you are building or not building in every small reaction. Every day. In Japan, there is a concept that has no direct translation into English. It is called sunao. Sunao means something like an honest, gentle, unguarded heart. A child who is sunao does not hide themselves, does not perform, does not build walls between what they feel and what they show you. Japanese parents speak of cultivating sunao in their children the way a gardener speaks of tending a plant. It is not forced, it is not demanded, it grows, slowly, gently, in the right conditions. And the conditions for sunao are specific. The child must feel that their inner world is safe in your hands, that when they show you what is real, their mistake, their fear, their want, you will not crush it. You will hold it carefully. Japanese child development researchers note that sunao is rarely found in homes where confession is routinely met with shame. Shame is the opposite of sunao. Shame teaches a child the real you is not safe to show. And a child who believes the real them is not safe to show will lie. Not because they want to deceive you, because they are protecting the parts of themselves they believe you cannot handle. There is one more thing that builds a lying child, and almost every parent has done it. The small social lie. Tell them I'm not home. We can't go because we're busy, when really you just don't want to. Don't tell your father about this. Children are watching you more carefully than you know. They are not just hearing your words. They are building a model of how the world works, how adults work, what is allowed. And when they see you lie, even small, socially acceptable, harmless lies, they receive a message that cuts deeper than any instruction you will ever give them. Lying is a tool adults use when the truth is inconvenient. The research on this is clear. Children whose parents modeled honesty, even in uncomfortable moments, even when it was awkward, were significantly more likely to tell the truth themselves, even without being asked, because they had seen it done by the person they most wanted to become. There is one thing that turns a lying child into a lying adult. It is a single word spoken in frustration. You're such a liar. Or, she always lies. Or, I can never trust what he says. When you give a child a name for who they are, they grow into it. This is not philosophy. It is neuroscience. Identity, once named, becomes a script the child follows, because the most powerful need a child has is to be consistent with who the people they love believe them to be. Call a child honest, and they will reach for honesty even when it is hard. Call a child a liar, and you have handed them permission to keep lying, because they are only behaving like themselves, like who you said they were. Never name what you want them to outgrow. Never label what you want them to leave behind. Here is what the research and the ancient wisdom converge on. First, lower the consequence for confession. Not to 0, but lower. When your child comes to you and says, I did it, before you react, say this first. Thank you for telling me the truth. That was brave. Then address the behavior. In that order, always. The truth gets acknowledged before the consequence. The child learns honesty is rewarded even when I've done something wrong. Second, never ask a question you already know the answer to. When you ask, did you eat the chocolate, and you can already see the wrapper and the chocolate around their mouth, you are not asking a question. You are setting a trap, and the child knows it. Instead, skip the question. Just address what happened. I see the chocolate was eaten. State it. Don't interrogate. The interrogation is what teaches children to perform under pressure. Third, model it yourself, out loud. When you make a mistake, say so in front of your child. I was wrong about that. I was unfair. I'm sorry. This is not weakness. This is the most powerful teaching you will ever do. A child who watches a parent own the truth grows up believing that truth-telling is what strong, respected people do. This is lore, the wisdom every culture knew that nobody taught you. every Tuesday, one thing you should have been taught, but weren't. If this video helped you see something differently, subscribe, share it with someone who is raising a child, and leave a comment, because I read them. See you next Tuesday.